Welcome into Pay Dirt Sports, part of the Six Pack Coverage Network. This is Will Dundon here with Nick Truschel and a 25-year-old Seth Coggin. Shout out Scoggs.
We made it.
Scoggs' birthday.
I was supposed to make it past 25.
So there we go. But yeah, guys, lots to talk about and not a lot to talk about at the same time. What's that?
I was saying closer to 50 than 0.
That's true.
Seth getting old.
Well, I'm right on the tipping point right now. Like tomorrow I will be, I'll tip over closer to 50.
Yeah, at midnight you were there, but it's almost tomorrow. So you're on the ladder
downhill, man. Right.
Closer to 30 than 20. Yikes. All right, that's enough.
We've got a lot to talk about and not a lot to talk about at the same time. I mean, football's this month. We've been getting
this week.
Yeah, we've been getting geared up and ready for it. Dude, Hall of Fame game comes on this week.
I saw Derrick Henry in pads. Boys.
Good.
Football is so close. It is so close. Who's in the Hall of Fame game?
Jags and Raiders.
Yeah, Jags and Raiders.
August 4th, 3 days.
Ooh. How bad are the Jags going to be looking on August 4th?
I don't know, but that's a game that screams Hall of Fame.
It does.
And I can't wait to watch it. I will be watching the Hall of Fame game.
Have you guys heard some of this noise about Jacksonville potentially headed to Chicago for a second Chicago team?
No.
So yeah, the Bears are talking about moving stadiums and actually moving to like a different city within Illinois. And still being, I don't know, I think it's like a suburb outside of Chicago.
Yeah,
so
it'd have to be right outside.
Yeah, it'd still be the Chicago Bears. But yeah, Jacksonville, because Shad Khan, the owner, has some connections to Chicago and Illinois, and they might actually. So there's been talks of either London or Chicago.
Yeah, they're going to London. They go to London before they go to Chicago.
I don't know. There's some talks heating up.
What if the Jags go to London? Are they still in the AFC South?
They're not going to London. There's no way.
I don't know. I don't think they'd be the only one to go to London. That's my thing. There'd be at least 2 teams in London, I think.
You can't make that work. It doesn't make sense logistically.
Yeah, it does not make sense logistically, but it'd be kind of tight. I like the games. We need a team in Ireland. They're Dundon. Maybe the Huskers will spark so much energy and football love
into Ireland.
They'll be such big Husker fans that they'll make an NFL team over there in Ireland.
That'd be nuts.
So I'm looking at this report here, and they're moving to Arlington Heights, which is right outside of Chicago.
Is that official? Because I saw something else where they might stay at Soldier Field. Yeah,
so it's not official, but they are talking about it's definitely a possibility, but the mayor of Chicago has published renderings of upgrades with a $2.2 billion roof renovation for Soldier Field. So they're laying their cards out there and trying to keep the Bears at home. But if they want to get to Arlington Heights, that does leave the door open for another Chicago team, as we've seen it in baseball. And then the NBA has the Bulls, and the Bucks are only 90 minutes away from Chicago in Milwaukee. So that's a pretty close team as well. We've seen it happen. These Chicago can't hold 2 pro teams. So I don't know.
Yeah, but not 2 pro football teams.
You're not going to have...
Dude, it's so Bears.
Well, I was going to say, Chicago cares too much about the Bears.
Yeah.
Like, it's not LA where you just recently had some teams move back or whatever, and it's LA, so people don't really care about football anyway. Like, Chicago Bears fans are some of the most diehard sports fans in sports, not just football. You're not going to be able to just split that up.
Yeah, no one's defecting from the Bears franchise to go cheer on the Jags, and everyone loves the Bears. It's not a split city. Will was right to mention LA. Those you could maybe compare those in size, but the LA market is never associated with one team.
Right.
If honestly anything, I would associate LA with the Raiders.
Yeah, the LA Raiders.
Yeah, because I feel like they've had the most success in Los Angeles, and they're not even playing in LA right now. So it has had a crazy history, but Chicago's just the Bears. It is the Bears or nothing. So that'd be crazy to go to Chicago. I could almost see, I can see other cities. Then I don't know where you would put
But-
another pro football team.
So this Arlington Heights Stadium would give them the 80,000 plus seat venue required to host a Super Bowl. So it's going to have 20,000 more seats than Soldier Field.
So that's the pull for the Bears to move.
Yeah.
That's got to be. I have to
So-
imagine if for Bears fans though, that's got to be tough, right?
Yeah.
I would think you would not want to leave Soldier
So
Field.
Soldier Field. Have y'all ever been to Soldier
I haven't
Field?
been. No.
It is one of the most amazing, like not the stadium itself. I didn't go into the stadium. It's just right there in a major park in Chicago, like on the waterfront, like right on the water. It's on this just beautiful stretch, like right downtown. And so it's just the setting of it being so entrenched in the city of Chicago and so deeply embedded. And it's such kind of a landmark of the great park, like a true like big park. It makes it really cool. And I'd love to see it. I mean, it'd be so cool to see it on a game day and everything with the whole, I'm sure it's just wild there around that whole area of Chicago. And so I think to move that, it just removes some of the authenticity of your team. You call yourselves the Chicago Bears, like you play in downtown, the heart of Chicago. That's very, I think it's important to having like success. That's why I like the Titans playing downtown Nashville is awesome.
Yeah.
Like that stadium being downtown, the setting of it being right by the river, right by a downtown area it makes the experience of the NFL team so much better. That Soldier Field being right on
Tailgating in Lot J is unreal for Nissan. It's an electric experience.
It is. And you just can't put that in the suburbs.
No,
You can't replace that.
that is true. I mean, but this is all hypothetical, so I don't want to harp on it too long. But it would be cool to have, because Chicago, Illinois would actually be closer to the Colts, Texans, and Titans than it would be in Jacksonville. So geographically, it would make more sense.
You should go to Memphis.
I don't know if Memphis would they be able to field an NFL team? It'd
Probably
be tough.
not, but
It'd be cool.
What
Maybe
other cities?
Arkansas gets
Go back to St. Louis.
that would be awesome.
St. Louis.
St. Louis needs an NFL team.
I mean, that's kind of the same geographic area. It makes sense still for the Colts, Titans, and Texans. Because
I don't really know any other cities where you would.
That's what I was saying. There's no other real cities, especially if you're quasi trying to stay in the South. But I can't really think. I mean, maybe the only thing I think of is go back to San Diego or something where the Chargers just like go somewhere where a team just left, or Oakland. I mean, but are you going to do that? That's a weird move.
Yeah.
I mean,
like San Diego's not a great
honestly,
market.
you saying Chicago caught me really off guard because that seems like a really strange, like, position for them to
I think it's
into.
because Shad Khan has a ton of connections in Illinois. He went to the University of Illinois. His family lives there. His son lives there. And like a bunch of that, he apparently just loves the state of Illinois. So if the opportunity came up, but
Shad Khan is awful.
Yeah, he is. Well, he hired Urban Meyer. I mean,
dude, I need to watch that. There was, I don't know what it was, but it was a documentary or something about the Urban Meyer's time in Jacksonville and just how terrible, like literally how in shambles his regime was. Just how it's always interesting to hear afterwards the inner workings of like programs that fail, to like see the disorganization and the like lack of trust and institutional control, like, and Urban Meyer just being terrible at the NFL, and having just like scandals, like player scandals outside of his marriage, like just terrible from every sense of the word. And that's just like par for the course in Jacksonville somehow. Like it made sense that they hired Urban Meyer and he absolutely busted in year one.
He didn't even, how many games did he make it? Like 6 or 8?
I mean, I think he made it like 13.
Did he make it that? I thought it was
I think he made it.
He was 2-10. Maybe like he made it 12.
That does sound right. That does
something like right. That. He was 2-11, I think, when he got fired. Last loss.
Yeah, just 13 games. Yep.
Who was the last loss of the Urban Meyer NFL coaching career?
Let's see.
So here's the
here's the tenure. This is a CBS article, literally showing every single piece here. So December 15th was the last straw. the kicker strikes back. Former Jaguars kicker Josh Lambo said that Meyer kicked him during warmups, which Lambo reported the incident to the team's legal counsel, but was fired hours later, which he ended his tenure with Jacksonville with a 2-11 record. I'm trying to see here when was the actual loss. Oh, yeah. And then he also, 4 days before that, Urban Meyer called his assistant coaches losers in a meeting and demanded that they explain their individual accolades. I mean,
weird.
This is.
What was the final score? The Titans beat them like 20-0 or something.
Yeah, it was something bad.
It wasn't even that score. Wasn't.
Oh,
that
wait,
bad,
no, I was there. It was a
Yeah.
really weird game. Like it was kind of boring almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
because like neither team even had life. Like Jacksonville was just a dead fish.
It was like we just kind of slowly won 20-0. Like we didn't really. I mean, we beat them down, I guess, but it wasn't like that at all. Like
The Titans killed him December 12th. Killed Urban Meyer.
I'd watch that for 30 for 30 in a second.
Oh, yeah. If they just did an Urban Meyer 30 for 30 from his days at Florida to Ohio State to then Jacksonville, that would be
wild.
That. I mean, he's had a lot of crazy stuff happen.
Go back to Utah, bro. Let's not forget.
Yeah, Utah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Getting them. They weren't in the Pac-12 when he was there, were they?
no.
Yeah, no. But he went undefeated with them, right?
Yeah. Well, and that would be once he gets kind of back on his feet, or maybe he's a little more comfortable in the spotlight. This is years down the road, obviously.
5 minimum, I think.
Well, I just mean like once he's kind of comfortable again, like you could do a really good Urban Meyer 30 for 30.
Yeah,
even if he
he
didn't get in on it.
I was gonna
it'd still
say,
be
I don't
good.
think you let him be involved. I think you just tell.
That would be awesome if they just sit at like the beginning is like Urban Meyer walking into a completely black room with one chair. He just sits down, like sighs. So here's what happened.
Maybe that's what they do the last 30 minutes. Like don't tell anyone. And then do like an hour and a half into the 30 for 30. And then just this moment comes where you see this figure walking into the room and it's Urban Meyer and he just sits down.
Let me tell my side of the story. Yeah, just something like that.
Speaking of 30 for 30s, I saw a tweet that was I retweeted it and it was about I think it was a writer or someone said, I'm still waiting on the 30 for 30 on the 2007 college football season. And it was a montage of these highlights. Like you have when App State beat Michigan, Navy beats Notre Dame for the first time in 43 games or something. You have South Florida ranked number 2 in the country. Pittsburgh ends West Virginia's national championship hopes with Pat White and Steve Slayton on the team. Like it was a crazy year.
Yeah, I looked it up and it's literally the year of the upset is this headline of the article. Looking back at the 2007 season, the year of the upset, a ranked team lost to a lower ranked or unranked opponent 62 times during the regular season. Top 10 teams lost 29 times. The number 1 team lost 4 times. Number 2 team lost 7 times, all in the final 9 weeks of the season. Number 1 and 2 lost the same week 3 times, including weeks 13 and 14.
That's crazy.
So literally it was just upset after upset after upset.
And it was it was funny because 2 of the major clips they show is LSU losing to Kentucky and then losing to Arkansas. And then, of course, LSU wins the national championship that year with 2 losses.
Yeah. Hogs beat them in Death Valley in double overtime.
Yeah.
And then they still went on to win the national championship.
And Rutgers ended up beating South Florida 30-27 when USF was number 2. Rutgers.
Yeah.
And then Rutgers was hype back then. That was when Shiano was hot back at
I'm
Rutgers.
thinking, was Tom Savage the quarterback?
Maybe.
I feel like he would have had to have been. Ray Rice might have been there.
USF was cold there for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
That was sweet. Who was the coach back then at USF?
Wait, Tom Savage was at no, he was at Rutgers a little bit later, but he went to Rutgers, Arizona, and Pitt. I didn't realize he played at that many places.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was at Arizona.
I didn't either.
He was only there for a year. So that was in between Pitt and Rutgers.
South Florida.
Yeah, he didn't even play.
Was the quarterback, do y'all happen to know the quarterback's name? I do. I'm just wondering if y'all do.
From South Florida then?
Yeah, when they were running things. This is like my random college football player. I always pull
Oh,
out.
that would be.
Well,
I can't think
now
of it.
know,
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
I believe it's Matt Grothy.
that's correct.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
I remember he rocked the mohawk.
Very nice.
That
From
was
Lakeland, Florida.
That was a gritty South Florida team.
Yeah, would they like win? Like, how did they really get ranked so high?
It was because the ACC was pretty. They would have had. Well, wait, they aren't in the ACC. Yeah, who did they play? They would have had to be Florida State or someone.
Yeah, they probably beat Miami.
They were in the Big East.
The Big East.
This is when the Big East was still decent. I guess.
But they still probably had to beat they had to beat one of the big Florida schools. I'm sure.
Let's see.
Maybe yeah. Yeah, check out.
I mean, you can see Florida.
So they beat. Yeah, they beat number 17 Auburn at Auburn, and then beat number 5 West Virginia. They played North Carolina. Yeah, so they beat Auburn, North Carolina, West Virginia. But then they got all the way up to number 2 and lost 3 straight games: Rutgers, UConn, and Cincy.
Tough, bro. That's tough. What a fall off. To win all those games and lose to those 3 teams, that is brutal.
Yeah, and they were all close too. It was all within 1 score. They ended up getting on another hot streak, beating Syracuse, Louisville, and Pitt, and then getting absolutely annihilated by Oregon in the Sun Bowl.
Nice. There you go. It's funny how a football team can bring back like a piece of I would definitely remember watching USF probably on a Thursday night or something
Yeah,
this team's awesome.
Exactly.
They are good. Number 2 in the country. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they did have.
Hogs had Darren McFadden in 2007, so that was a fun year. Fun year for us. That was Houston Nutt's last year though as coach of the Razorbacks.
Vols went to the SEC championship, lost to that LSU team.
That was the last time they went, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric 6-2. 6-2 ahead of Georgia, 10-4 overall.
They wear am I tripping or did they wear all orange in that SEC championship game?
Probably.
I feel like I just remember them wearing all orange versus LSU sometime. In the old, do you remember the old AstroTurf at the Georgia Dome?
Yeah, was that what it was?
It's just turf. It was just
carpet.
Yeah, it truly was I don't even know how you describe that kind of AstroTurf. True.
No,
not the turf they have today is meant to be grass. Yeah, kind of meant to perform more this was truly turf. Yeah, I like that look. It was a retro. It was probably not. I don't know what it was like a while back, but y'all ever been to a SEC championship game?
No.
I refuse to go to one until the Vols are there. So should be going to one next year. That should be
fair enough. Yeah, we'll make the trip. Next time Arkansas goes, I'll go again because it is fun. I've only gone. I've actually gone to watch Arkansas twice. In 2003 they got demolished by Georgia.
Do you remember that in 2003?
I remember it a little bit. I remember kind of the fanfare, to be honest, going in there and playing a bunch of, throwing footballs around and targets and doing obstacle courses and just I just remember all the people, it was wow, these are so many Hog fans and Georgia fans and just being kind of overwhelmed by the experience of being in the George Dome and stuff. And then I went in 2006 when Arkansas played Tebow and Georgia, and Florida. Except, actually, I take that back. I think that was the year Chris Leak was the quarterback, and they won the national championship with Tebow was a backup.
That was 06, I believe.
That was 06. Yeah, that was the last time we've been. But I got to go back. I watched Alabama.
That was when
Alabama, Florida one time. That was pretty fun. That was a unique experience. I was there with the officials. So one of my good friends, his dad and uncle, their whole family has been SEC officials for the longest time. And so the night before I went to the official suite party at the nice hotel there. And so I'm just rubbing elbows with all the head officials of the SEC. Not my favorite place. I'm I think the SEC officiating, in all honesty, it could use a little work in a lot of cases. I don't want to lay too much on them, but anyway, I got to be an impartial viewer. It wasn't the Razorbacks playing, so I got to just watch an SC championship game and experience it. And it was pretty fun.
I would do
cool.
that. That's so fun.
It was a lot of fun. Like, it was just I didn't pursue that, but it was like, hey, you want to go? Like, yeah. But I'll only try to go if the Hogs are in it, and then I'll be making my way to Atlanta. I'd like to see it in the new stadium there.
Yeah,
I know it's been there for a while now, but I've never been to a football game in it. No.
I've got to go see the Huskers in Indy.
That would be sweet.
And Indy isn't far either. That's just like what a 4
Do they play those on the same day?
Yeah, I think the SEC
epic
games at like 3:30, and then the Big Ten's at night.
It'd be such a
what
sick
if you made
weekend
an
to
epic epic road trip, hit the SEC championship, immediately head to the Big Ten championship.
I don't know if
you'd
have to fly out. Like,
yeah, you'd have to.
And I still don't know if you could. Yeah, you'd have to PJ it. All right. Well,
if we hit our overs, we might be taking a private jet.
That is true. If they all go 10-2, that means they probably all win their division. Let's be real. They probably all win their so they would all be in it would be the Hogs and the Vols probably, or at least the Vols or the Hogs. Like I bet maybe one of those, but I bet Nebraska would definitely be. Big 10.
Nebraska with 10 wins would definitely be in. And we could literally do that because you don't have to you can do the whole NetJets thing or whatever.
Yeah, you could rent be a couple K, but
yeah, it'd be a few thousand, but we'd have 15.
Yeah, that would be the point of it. Like, no, we're doing this weekend. We made a small bet with our friends. Because think about it, it's literally like you just paid $30 for like a PJ and like SEC championship.
All expenses
tickets.
Paid trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that would be incredible.
We just won our own lottery. And we
blew it all.
Lottery. Yeah.
It'd be so worth it though to do that.
Oh heck yeah. No, that's the plan. If that all comes to fruition, it would be a beautiful if we speak.
That would be the greatest weekend of my life.
I think we got a plan to spend Friday night, at least Friday night, if not Thursday and Friday in Atlanta. Hang out in Atlanta for 2 days, go to the championship, and then immediately fly and then party that night in Indy. Like spend another night in Indy. So you like party, just tearing up 2 cities, one epic weekend.
That'd be nuts.
With the Skurs. And the craziest thing about it is, you would be going from like the epicenter of your fan base to the epicenter of a different, you'd be going, all right, I'm with all no one really ever probably goes bounces conference championship hopping.
No.
Okay, I'm going to go watch my favorite team win the SEC championship and then hop on a jet and watch the Huskers win the Big Ten.
All your boys are down there.
If you go see you guys, what if you have this epic weekend? And
that's the thing.
The Vols and Huskers both take fat L's.
Yeah, get beat by 40, just absolutely pieced in their championship games.
That's you can really, that's what's kind of would be fun about it too, though, because after the first game you lose, you'd be like, all right, rebound, we got another one, let's go. But yeah, if you lose that one, it's just wow, still a crazy experience.
Yeah, I'd still have a blast.
I'd like to go. I wish Razorbacks would play on a January bowl, and I would like to go wherever that bowl is and really have an extended stay at a good bowl. Hogs are playing in a really good bowl. Outback Bowl is pretty cool. My parents got to go to Tampa, hang out, but I'm talking
Sugar Bowl or something.
I'm thinking awesome. Sugar Bowl. I think Miami is calling my name down there.
No, Sugar Bowl's New Orleans, right?
Oh yeah. No, I'm talking. I want Miami.
You want Orange Bowl?
Orange Bowl or Sugar Bowl.
I could go NOLA. No, you know what? I would take the Sugar Bowl.
I would think you'd be a NOLA guy.
Yeah, I would love the Sugar Bowl. I would. New Orleans or Miami would be my. I guess the SEC is tied to the Sugar Bowl more. I don't know what the two playoff
I don't even know how it works anymore, honestly, with the New Year's Six.
Yeah, kind of got all flip-flopped around with the playoffs.
They are still tie-ins.
Yeah.
So we do Ole Miss went to the Sugar Bowl last year, and that's definitely realistic if Arkansas is not in the playoff. But our SEC had 2 teams in the playoff, so that's why Ole Miss got that bowl too. So
yeah,
if we only have 1 team in, then I think team number 2, it's the highest ranked SEC team would get the Sugar Bowl. But I'd party in New Orleans New Year's Eve.
It'd be fun.
Be a good time with the Razorbacks.
Let's see I'm looking at where the championships are. So next year, championship is in LA, then Houston, then Vegas, then 2025, Miami. So Seth, you might just have to wait until 2025 when the Hogs are in the Natty to head down to Miami.
Maybe, but maybe one of the playoff games is down there in Miami sometime soon.
That could happen too.
I feel like the playoff game, like Miami's always hosted bowl. It's always January, and I see Miami.
2022, it's Fiesta and Peach Bowl are the.
I'll tear down. Oh, so it's Lana.
Oh, it is. It is Lana.
It could be Lana.
Lana, then Cali. Lana, Cali.
Lana, LA.
Lana, La.
And then, 2023, it's the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl, then Houston.
That's cool.
So, 2023 Sugar Bowl, and then just because Houston is not that far from New Orleans, it's a quick flight over.
Yeah, I think you'd
have to let it ride.
Let it ride. All right. I like it.
All right. We figured out our plans for the next 3 to 5 years.
I like that we've already spent the money that we got incredible odds to win. No faith in the Hogs and the Vols and the Skurs.
What was really annoying is I tried to also just do the over on all the win totals because obviously none of the win totals are even at 9 or 8 or whatever. So, but it wouldn't let me. FanDuel wouldn't let me combine them for some reason.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know why. Tough.
I like that you did an alternate line.
Yeah.
We're doubling down.
We're really going all in.
Over. We're saying they're going to have great seasons.
Yeah. We're going way, way over.
When's the last time each of our programs had a 10-win season?
Vols was 2007.
Bo Pelini had 3. So I'm going to say 09 probably.
Then Arkansas had one in 2011? They had an 11-win season and didn't even make it to the Natty.
Actually, wait.
Right?
Yeah. They went 11 wins. No, they went 11-2. They won their bowl game.
Oh, but still 10.
And then they won back-to-back 10-win seasons in 2010 and 2011 under Petrino. And then, they haven't we had 9 wins last year.
Close.
We had gotten up to 8 in the time between 2011 and our best year was 8. So 9 was a welcome improvement, but not settled at 9. I can tell you that much. I'm very excited for Arkansas's first game. I mean, I know we'll have week 0, and I'm about to release my Huskers season preview is going to be my number 1 preview out. Of what Arkansas could be next year, because I legitimately think Cincinnati's breaking in a new quarterback, all that kind of stuff. So if they put on a good performance, if Arkansas plays well, which they should, they have a lot of continuity, especially on offense, and actually kind of takes care of Cincinnati, handles Cincinnati pretty good. That would be just so sick. What a way to start the year. Week 1 with just a great opportunity at home. It's going to be so hot, probably early September, at 2:30 in the afternoon. It's going to be baking out there. Cincinnati's going to get run over. Train time. Pitt, Tennessee is not week 1, is it?
No, Ball State is who the Vols open up with, but I mean, Pittsburgh is the game I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I can't wait because Pitt, they've got their whole defensive line returning, and they've got a lot of starters returning. Obviously, they lose Pickett, which is going to be a big thing on the offense. But I think we should be able to beat them. But
wait, so Truschel, are we overlooking Ball State?
I mean, I overlooked Georgia State when Pruitt did that. So
I just think back to the young Phil tweet.
Yes, Karen. What is it? What did he say?
Someone was like, "Hey, don't be so quick to," because we were talking about battle at Bristol, and he's like, "Don't be so quick to overlook App State," and he just responds back like, "I am overlooking them." Like,
I am currently overlooking App State, Ball State.
Yeah, and I
mean,
yes,
Kevin.
Whoever made that young Philip Fulmer Twitter account is goated forever in Vol Twitter. Like that is.
Do they don't know who that is?
I'm sure so. Like people do, but I don't. I mean,
I figured
that someone who knew a friend of young Phil's, but I don't know who actually is young Phil. Yeah,
it's awesome. That is like that's been around for a while.
It has been around for a while since we were in high school.
It's not as big as it was. I'm assuming they're
way bigger.
They're well out of college now, obviously.
Yeah.
So
they probably were in college when we were in high school, though, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's in college. Big Orange Hypel has kind of like taken over a lot of the noise on Volt Twitter. I feel like I see Big Orange Hypel a lot, and he's got 30,000 or something like that followers.
Every now and then, young Phil will tweet out, "Send in the yearbook picture." Talking about Lyndon. For the listeners out there, our buddy Lyndon used a young Philip Fulmer quote as his senior quote.
We still coming.
Yeah, we still coming.
We still coming. That was pretty legendary. We've never had old Dirt on the pod. He could be some good Tennessee football insight.
He'd be a good
Tennessee basketball too.
If the Vols lose a big one, I would really like to have Lyndon on. Like if they get upset by someone they just shouldn't, I would love to get Lyndon's reaction because he'll come on and get angry.
Yeah, he'll get angry.
That is some of the best we should get our like super raw reactions to games. You know,
like emergency pods after a terrible loss.
Yeah. Yeah, we need true meetups of like pain, or just like that's when you really chisel out the future of the program.
I like the sound of that. I know our old buddy Will Parker, he can definitely get fired up after a loss by Tennessee. He will just like say everyone's terrible. Like he'll just go on the biggest tirade in the world. Him and Jack Hancock will get fired up about the Vols.
I've had to seriously cool off because I would get a little worked up. Arkansas just lost so much where it really humbled me into like not accepting defeat, but just knowing that defeat is an option. So if we do lose, like I've been there before. I'll fight my butt off to win again.
A lot before.
Like I promise I will not stop trying to win again, but like I will take my loss. Like I can't get too upset with the team. I've had to cool my head off a little bit, but I can still get hot.
I get hot every now and then. I really just get my heart ripped out more often.
Yeah, it's really, I'll just get sad.
Like it's gut wrenching more for me. I think for a long time, it was a lot of anger. And then
about like after the Illinois game last year? Like
once it started getting consistent and happening a good bit, it was truly just like, cue hello darkness, my old friend. Like that's literally what it was.
Oh, you just get in the cave and you just keep trying to claw your way out, All right.
Yeah. The Illinois game last year really almost broke me. Just to kick off the season when you have all this hype.
Yeah,
to immediately just be just gross. Like I didn't even people don't even want to watch it because it's just sad.
It was bad football play.
I think the season opening aspect of it does suck so much more too, because like you do have so much excitement. Even though you're probably not the best team in the country, you have a lot of excitement.
You don't know yet, though.
Yeah, you don't know yet. There is the possibility that you will have a great season.
We especially when usually it's like, oh, we can play Florida Atlantic and win 40-10, and hey, we still could be the best. You have no clue, but
until you get that first loss, you have no clue. And then even with that first loss, we've seen some one-loss teams do it all.
It's tough. I mean,
yeah,
but hey, that's why we're getting.
That's why we're here.
If I just strap back in and go back, year 25 of being a Razorback, bro. Like you don't go to. I've been a hog for 25 years. That's really a celebration. I've been through it from day zero, and so and I'm still here. I'm still strapping up, ready for Saturday September 6th or 7th, 2:30 p.m. when we kick it off inside the Dub, which I have now officially started calling Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium the Dub. I think that could catch on. It's pretty good there, right? I don't know. I'm sure someone's called it before, but I'm legit about it. Like, that's the Dub. And it's like, it's a winning. We're getting dubs at the Dub. So it's worked out pretty good. Anyway, you're broken. Like, if you can't go into a new, your program is not in a good spot.
I agree.
Yeah. We haven't gotten a chance to talk any NFL yet, boys. Do we want to talk? The season is upon us, like we were talking about with the Jags and the Raiders.
Throw it out.
I think there's some major storylines we can.
Yeah, and also
sure.
We just saw Will and I were talking about one of his players on his fantasy team, Deebo Samuel, finally back in San Francisco. The deal is done after everyone thought he was for sure gone. DK got paid a lot, so all these receivers got their money, but AJ was the only one to get traded to get his money. So he got the biggest deal out of all of them, right? The AAV was 25 mil a year. So the average value per year, he's going to get the most money. He's one of the highest paid receivers in the NFL now,
and that's where it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but Deebo got 60 mil guaranteed.
So did Deebo get paid more? Or did AJ get paid more?
I think AJ's contract's bigger. Okay. Deebo got more guaranteed money. I think.
Yeah, AJ doesn't have as much guaranteed, but he does have the biggest contract out of everybody that signed.
Like, AJ is great, but like Deebo Samuel was the 49ers last year. They literally gave him the ball any possible way they could.
Yeah.
And it was almost like he was the offense. And AJ Brown was great for the Titans, obviously, but we also have Derrick Henry. So the fact that you're comparing, I don't think the contract should be equal for guys like that.
Yeah, AJ Brown was spectacular, and he did spectacular things, but he wasn't, honestly, and this is not nitpick. I wanted AJ Brown to be a Titan. I truly did. I did too. He's a great player. I want him a part of my team, but the Titans they're as close to the situation as they know. Like, they viewed him for what he was, like a very productive. At the end of the day, he was pretty productive. He was very productive. He was a high-end receiver, but he missed quite a few games. He missed a few games last year, and he's missed time in the past. I'm not huge time, and he's been there when we needed him in the playoffs and stuff and made big plays. But a guy who had some injury past and who's just going to cost and extort. You're paying him as one of the top A1 receivers in the league. And he's probably, in my eyes, he's like an A2 receiver, if that makes sense. Like, he is on a top tier list, but he is not, and he is a number one receiver in a system, but he's not like the true elite of the elite receiver. He is an elite high level receiver. And that's someone you want on the team, and one of the best receivers in Titans history. And he probably, my take on that, I know that was kind of up for, like, people were talking about that recently, like best receiver in Titans history. And AJ Brown probably would have been that if he had played his whole career. Yes, he probably ends up as the best receiver in Titans history. But because he only played so little with the Titans, like, no, he's not the best receiver in Titans history. He might be the most he had some of the better seasons, probably the most talented, but not even like what he had last year. He didn't even have 900 receiving yards last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let's be actual real about the numbers he's producing last year.
If he can't stay on the field, then he's not worth the money.
He might have averaged a lot per game, and he had some big games, but there were some games he was fairly ineffective and he missed a good chunk of time. But
top 10 in drops as well.
I don't know. I'm excited to watch Treylon. I'm really excited to watch Treylon. I think he's going to
dive into that a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're finally seeing it's been the start of Treylon Burks' NFL career in Tennessee has been largely overshadowed by the fact that he was traded for AJ Brown, Essentially, that's the optics of the situation. You trade away AJ Brown for a pick that ends up being Treylon Burks, who is like the closest NFL comparison you could make is AJ Brown. But, and then you also, he has salt. People are salty about the draft pick from the start. Like the Titans fan base is already kind of, they're put off by the kid because of the decision the ownership and like the, you know, leadership of the team have made to draft him. Like this is the Titans' decision to do this move is pick Treylon. They pick him anyway. So he comes in with a little salt. And then a few weeks later, this kid has just been drafted in the first round of the NFL. Probably partied a little too hard. You know, he probably had some fun.
Came in a little out of shape.
He comes in a little out of shape. And that is bad. Not a good sign. Like not, again, like I never said it was great that he came in out of shape. But it wasn't, people were blowing it up out of proportion. I felt like because of a couple things. Because the aforementioned stuff with AJ, the fact that they're already kind of looking for reasons to nitpick this kid who's out of Arkansas, who they kind of drafted, like they probably picked him a little higher or about where he was slotted. It wasn't like they did a crazy reach or anything for him. I think people are still also a little shell shocked over the Isaiah Wilson bust from 2 years ago.
Yeah, that
when your first round draft pick never looks good. Like you don't really see him ever.
I mean, how many downs did he play? Like 4?
He barely saw the field at all ever. It was on special teams. I think he played 3 snaps as a Titan.
Yeah. And then,
anyway, so you have these bad feelings about a first round draft pick that's an absolute bust. And then he struggles with like breathing and stuff and is out of shape at practice, at the OTA, like voluntary stuff. Now I think the rookies might have to go, but it's like so far away from football season. And he's never had problems with this in the past. He's never really missed games with injury. I watched Treylon Burks put the Arkansas offense on his back, like play after play after play after play. The whole team knew, the whole defense knew, the whole offense knew, the whole stadium knew who was getting the ball. And he would still just time after time dominate. Like, I'm not really worried about the workload. If anything, his NFL workload is going to be lighter than some of the things we asked him to do at Arkansas in some ways. Now the competition's higher. So, you have it's difficulties in other ways. But from the perspective that we asked him to take jet sweeps, he's running the ball, he's throwing passes, like he's running deep routes, dig routes, like our offense ran through Treylon Burks for several years. And I watched him play after play just dominate and not miss a beat. And so I wasn't that concerned when I saw him in 6 months prior to this first snap. And what has he done in now we get into actual fall camp where the real team is here, where the real Titans defense is against him and he's making plays and he's showing out and he's showing people why he is their number one. And I think the real thing that's come out of this is he has absolutely come in from day one and been the number one receiver. Like Robert Woods is a top tier receiver, but he is not our number one. Like Treylon is our number one receiver. And I think that's encouraged. I think a lot of people that talked a lot, and it got so much media focus. It was so heavily like scrutinized, him having some breath problems. Which as an aside, as a fellow asthma sufferer, I can definitely say that seasonally it does get worse. I can have some terrible moments if I'm outside and, and hopefully that it's never been a problem in game at Arkansas. So I don't see it becoming an issue in the NFL when he has probably an even better team around him, like nutrition and health wise. Like they're going to have him at peak performance on Sundays playing and balling. And I'm really excited to see him. That was actually Zane's birthday gift to me, Treylon Burks jersey. So I'll be repping 1-6. I got him on my back. So, I think I'll wear it probably forward. I think I'll wear it backwards with Burks on my chest.
I like that.
I'm repping him. I'm picking him. I said superstar the other day. I've only given the superstar title to one person that I've watched draft by one of my teams. I've and it was Ja. Ja was the only one on draft. I was like, that is a superstar. Like
I turned into that for sure.
I think I see Treylon as the next like Julio Jones type receiver, if not better. Like I
would love that.
I think it could happen. I'm excited to see it.
He did have a monster season at Arkansas. I was looking at his numbers. 1,300.
We're not even we're a run. We were the
Yeah.
We were the leading rushing team in the conference, and he still put up those numbers.
Yeah, had 1,200 receiving yards, 11 receiving touchdowns, plus about 130 rushing yards with a rushing touchdown as well. So he added a little bit on the rushing side.
And his catch. Tannehill mentioned it recently. His catch radius is insane, and that's what, like, as a quarterback, that's exactly what you want in a receiver. You know, like, where I can throw it pretty much anywhere, and he can go catch it, and I can throw it away from defenders and stuff like that. Make physical catches. In a lot of ways, he is similar to AJ. Like, AJ would make physical catches. I think Treylon actually separates a little better than AJ, to be honest. I think AJ forced himself into catching some heavily contested balls because he didn't really separate as much. So he made it kind of tight windows. Anyway, I'm excited to really watch him play football. Like, I'm excited for people, and especially Titans fans, to like actually watch Treylon play football because he is so special. He was the best player on our team as a freshman. Now, we were terrible, but he was like by far and away our most talented player on offense for 3 full years. And that's a pretty good testament in any SEC school when you just like you walk on campus and you are the guy. He's from Warren, Arkansas, like little town in Arkansas. He literally loves hunting and everything. Give him some time to grow and mature into an NFL player, and he's gonna be amazing. Like, he is that kind of guy.
I hope it happens. That'd be awesome.
I'm glad people are seeing it in camp. That's what I've been focused on in camp, because I was anxious to see how he would do with some of that negative energy surround. Like, you know, I think it's already a testament to himself. He got so much negative reaction at first, and he came back and already answered it. Like, he's like, nah, I came back healthy and shape, balling. Like, that's sweet.
It is worth noting too. Didn't someone ask Sam Pittman about it at SEC Media Days? Didn't he say that's kind of what he's kind of known for doing that?
Yeah, they said he was. Sam Pittman even said, "Well, I could kind of see that he was going to come in out of shape, but he did say, like, there's one thing that I know that he performs on game day."
Yeah. See, now, and that's where I'm kind of on the media side a little bit, because that is kind of concerning.
Yeah,
it is different when you're talking about a guy it's like, hey, we're investing a ton of money in you, and you're about to live out your dream, and you have a chance to be a number 1 receiver in the NFL, and you still come in out of shape, and then it lingers for a while. That's what had me nervous. Now, I will say, I don't know if he's our number 1 receiver. If he is, I think that's a really good thing. If you're telling me Treylon Burks is the number 1,
if he outplays Robert Woods, that would be.
And that's what I'm saying. And Robert Woods is the number 2. Your receiving group is gonna have numbers that double the receiving group from last year's. I mean, if he does, that will be huge for the Titans.
It's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be sweet to. He's gonna get a quick fan base, because I'm telling you, he's gonna start making plays like early on. We've seen rookie receivers have immediate impact pretty recently, especially guys in the SEC that, if like, great receivers in the SEC tend to go ahead and immediately kind of pop into success in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
Jamar
you do.
Chase,
He goes into a good offense, you know, in the Titans, where we are heavily run focused. Like, defenses are run oriented, so it probably will open up some form of opportunity to him.
the
We'll
play
just
action.
see. Yeah, hope Tannehill trusts him and the offense gets going. I think it'll be a slow start for the offense just in general, to be quite honest.
I think we're going to miss Roger Saffold more than expected.
Maybe they're talking good things about Aaron Brewer.
Yeah, Aaron Brewer's been big, and I want to see a breakout year from Dylan Radins.
Who would be? I guess they're talking about right guard, I guess. And then is Radins the choice for left guard over there?
Well, Nate
No,
Davis.
Yeah.
Nate Davis, Ben
Radens
Jones
would be right
tackle.
Right
Yeah, and
tackle.
obviously
Okay.
Lawan at left tackle. Lawan, Davis, Ben
Yeah.
Jones, Brewer, and then
I'm
Brewer
thinking,
and Radens on the right side could be dangerous, but
Well,
people
who's
are
the
talking
other
big on him.
who's the other
Oh,
option besides
Pierre Fertit, or that guy from Ohio State,
Petit
he's probably
Frere?
not
But
or
starting. No.
Petit Frere. That's what it
He's
is.
not
I
playing
feel like
minutes. Probably this
no,
year.
but I think there's another. Who's the right tackle option? I think there's another one.
I'm a little worried about Lawan, to be quite honest. I think he could be in regression.
I mean, he's getting up there in age, but you never know.
I don't know. This is kind of a tipping year. Like, he was coming off injury last year. I cannot get him allowing 6 sacks in a game like out of my head. I'm serious. I know he went on to have a pretty good year, but or decent at least. Like, he wasn't an absolute liability, although at times he was a liability at small moments. But I cannot get that game number 1, Arizona Cardinals, him just getting.
He was still scared. He was nervous about his ACL.
It
Chandler
was
Jones
pretty, honestly,
literally
for
made
him to
him
have
his baby. It was insane.
for him to even bounce back at all from that is honestly fairly impressive. Like, to have a good season and actually keep starting all year, just because some guys would be like,
he got pulled in that game, didn't he? In week 1,
I think at some point,
like around the fourth quarter, he got pulled, or second half, he got pulled. But I have the depth chart pulled up here to make it official. So left tackle is Taylor Lewan, left guard is Aaron Brewer, center Ben Jones, right guard Nate Davis, right tackle Dylan Radens, Nicholas Petit Frere is right tackle backup. Corey Levin is the guard that we were thinking of, I think, behind Nate Davis. Daniel Munier behind Ben Jones, Jamarco Jones behind Aaron Brewer, and Christian DeLauro behind Taylor Lewan at left tackle.
I feel like Jamarco Jones was the other one I was thinking of, maybe. But is that? I mean, that's not technically official yet, really, is it?
Not really.
It was updated 2 days ago, so
right.
It's not official, but I think that's like who, if the season started today, that's what people would most likely have as the depth chart.
I'm not in love with it. I'll say that.
We'll see. I mean, there could be some guys who take a step forward. You never know.
Yeah, you have guys with playing experience, but it's just like, man, you're kind of playing a lot of wild cards there, I feel like, besides Ben Jones, really.
Yeah, Ben Jones is going to be good, but also with those offensive linemen that are getting a little bit older, and like Lawan and even Ben Jones, injuries can start to pile up on those guys. So you got to have depth on the offensive line, and I just don't see a ton of depth on this team quite yet. So we'll have to see how some of these backups play.
Yeah, they might get forced into it. Baptized by fire.
I feel like they're playing the right team week 1. Like, that's a good opening up with the Giants.
It's all. I'm a little nervous about this though, because it's on 9/11. The Giants are going to be playing their butts off. Like, I'm even being serious. I'm not even trying to be funny about that or anything. Like, the city of New York is going to be fired up for that game. They're going to be ready. They're not going to want to lose on 9/11.
Yeah, but I don't trust Daniel Jones.
Yeah, hopefully Daniel Jones just gets picked off like
their
3
defense
times.
Is just not that good, right? I remembering? Like, is Adoree starting for him?
If he can get on the field.
Yeah.
Like, I was reading some stuff about Adoree, how he was just soft. Like, the other DBs would be showing up early. Like, Byard would be there early getting reps. Adoree always was walking in like right as 8 o'clock hit, never stayed late, didn't watch extra film, never did any of the extra things. And those extra things are basically expected by Mike Vrabel to be on this team. And that apparently Adoree and him just didn't mesh well together, because he wasn't putting in that extra work like a lot of the other secondary was doing. So good riddance. And he was hurt all the time too.
And is Logan Ryan over there too?
I don't know is Logan Ryan still there?
I don't know.
So he is on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, they released Wow, the rumors were the new coaching staff wanted new voices in the locker room and decided to take Ryan out. It clearly was part of a culture purge as the team did not realize much salary cap relief, less than $1 million saved from the move. So they didn't save any money and they wanted him gone. So screw you, Logan Ryan, for talking crap about the Titans fans. Good riddance.
Yeah, interesting.
He's not a good culture fit. The Bowl didn't like him. So I'm fine with that.
Well, do we have anything else we want to cover before we wrap it up?
I think I got my football bug taken care of today, at least.
I'm just excited because there will be, I mean, I don't know how much we'll talk about it, but there's an actual football game that we'll be able to talk about next week if we feel like it.
Oh, we'll definitely talk about it. I'm going to be up in New York. I'm leaving here on Thursday. I'll be back Sunday. But so I'm going to be fired up watching the game from the Big Apple. So it's going to be amazing.
That'll be cool.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. This has been Patriot Sports, part of the Six Pack Coverage Network. Be sure to check them out, sixpackcoverage.com, at Sixpack Coverage on Instagram and Twitter. Check us out. PatriotSports.blog is the website, at Patriot_sports on Twitter, and at Patriot Sports on Instagram. Guys, thanks again for listening, and we will see y'all next week.
Patriot out.